All right. Welcome, everyone. Gosh, I can't believe it's the middle of July. And here we are tonight, and we're going to talk about what's next. What's next in our business? So this is called the Promote to Sales Leader call. So what would be great to know, and you can type in, tell me where you're from and whether you are a team coordinator who is looking at what's next, or whether you are a sales leader and you just came back for a little refresher because you're feeling kind of jazzed out in July. And the next question you could answer, because I want to make this somewhat interactive, is gosh, what could I share tonight? What nuggets of wisdom, if you will, could I be sure to include tonight so that you really feel heard and your time has been really valued? So the way to communicate with me is through the question panel. So I use the question panel for either telling me that you can or can't hear, or to ask questions. So I would love for you to take a moment. Just tell me where you're from, what your current level is in Norwex, and if I could just, bless you with one little nugget that you could take away tonight that would really help you feel good about your business, what would that be? Because I'm here to serve. And while you were all writing, we have Christine. She's from Manitoulin Island in Ontario, or maybe she's just vacationing in Manitoulin Island in Ontario, and she is a team coordinator. And then we have Amber from Saginaw, Michigan. She just promoted to team coordinator, and she's looking to see what's next. Okay. Beth, she's a team coordinator from Colorado. I would like for you to clarify if the consultants under me need to be engaged or active to count towards my downline. I can definitely do that. And I'm wondering, Beth, if what you're asking is to promote to sales leader. You confirm that you're asking, do my consultants just need to be active, or do I need them to be engaged in order to count towards my requirements to promote? Okay, yes, okay, I'll cover that. The quick answer is they all must be engaged. Okay, that's the quick answer. Christine tells me that she gets to call Manitoulin Island home, and boy, that's a gorgeous place. I've never been there, but I do believe it's gorgeous. We have Renee from Southwest Florida. She's a team coordinator. And Amber asks, can you ever lose your promotion? If so, how? I'll cover that. Then we have Christy from Georgia. She promoted to TC in June, almost enough to promote to sales leader. I'm struggling to start over with my customer base because the people I signed up want to keep their circle of friends and family. I lost, hold on, my computer. I'm trying to, well, what does it say? It's not letting me scroll down there, so I'll go back up. I'll undock it again. And she says, won't let me read the whole thing. I'm taking it that you lost so much of my customers when I promoted. There, I got it. Okay, I can help you with that. And remind me, okay? Debbie, she's a TC from Geneva, New York. How is promoting to sales leader good for the whole team and not just me? Renee, yes, you should be able to see my PowerPoint. You're not seeing the questions. They only come to me. So you should be looking at a screen that says Promote and Grow Plus. Let me see. Promote and Grow Plus is what you should be looking at. So I hope that's what you can see. Are we able to see you? Oh, well, I can put my, well, I'm embarrassed because I'm actually sitting in my car Well, let's get personal, shall we? Because we're close now. I am sitting in my car outside of Starbucks because I am trying to sell my house to move into something that I'm very excited about. And wouldn't you know it, there's a showing tonight. Now, if it was just the first time for some people to come walking through, I would have said no. These are people who are coming back for the third time, and third time's a charm. So I said to my husband, we got to go to Starbucks. I got to tether my phone. So I'm going to show you. This is me sitting in the car. Oh, it's too funny. I'll look at myself in a moment. I lost so much of my customers when I promoted, and Renee says, thank you. Okay. See, I am sitting in my car. Now, I'm going to close the video. Gosh, nice hair. Nice hairdo, Sheila. I'm going to close the video down. I don't want it to drain the strength of our call so that you can hear my voice. But here I am. It's live. Seriously, I'm live. I'm in a parking lot. Well, you know what Debbie Bolton says, at Norwex we do life together, right? So I'm going to shut that off so y'all know I'm here. All right. Those were really great questions. And I understand all of it. Bear with me, and as we go through, I'm going to try and make sure that I cover off everything, and if I don't, you're just going to type in a new question that says, hey, you forgot about my question. All right. So I love that many of you, if not all of you, are team coordinators, and you're probably looking at what's next. And I love the question that said, okay, what's in it for my team if I promote? I suppose, to be really honest, when you put it like that, what's in it for the team? Well, I suppose it would be the same answer, and I'm not trying to be funny here, the same answer that I would give if you said, well, why should I recruit? Why should I build? So I'm going to step back from what does it mean for me to be a sales leader? How much money do I earn? Let's get back to why do we build anything in Norwex? Why do we build a customer base? Why do we build a host base? Why do we build a new consultant base? All of it, to me, in the most simplest form, is all about sharing the mission. So what's in it for you to promote to a sales leader? To me, the first answer would be the impact you, along with whomever is supporting the growth by recruiting other new team members, that combined effort is all about increasing the number of safe havens. I'll give you an example. As a consultant, I'm just going to use numbers here. As a consultant, let's say you did 4 parties in the month of June. And at each of those parties, there were 10 people, just simple math, okay? They all were customers of yours. So we're going to make an assumption that those 40 people, and some might have been, a small purchase like a Spirinet, but let's just say, okay, you probably impacted and influenced about 40 families in the month of June by yourself. As a team coordinator, and you have 3 team members who are doing what you're doing, let's say they only did 2 parties in the month of June, each of them, they only did 2. So each of them were in front of, let's say, I'm just using even numbers because it helps me do math. They each did 2 parties. They were in front of 20 people total, each of them that month. Well, you've got 3 team coordinators who each influenced 20 families, 20, 40, 60. You added, give or take, about 60 more people to your 40, and now as a team coordinator, you could say, I'm imagining that you're standing at a party and you might say something like this, or I might say something like this. Hi, thanks for coming tonight. I want to thank my host, Libby, for getting us together. Her coffee is great, and I'm really excited to share with you Norwex. So let me let me tell you a few things. I joined Norwex because blah, blah, blah. What I'm really excited about tonight is not only am I here to help each of you learn some new things perhaps about making better decisions for your family and creating a healthier home. Our Norwex mission is all about radically reducing chemicals. As someone who works in homes like I'm doing tonight with all of you, part of my other role is I also help people who look at what I do, who are very curious and say, sign me up, I want to get involved, I want to participate in this mission. Well, I help those people get started. Why is that important to me on a personal basis? Because I can only impact so many people. But by sharing what I do with others and having consultants on my team, last month we impacted 100 homes, we believe, in our respective communities, and we all feel that together as a small but mighty group, we're making a huge impact at a very local level. Does that answer your question, or did I go like a squirrel and go all over the place and make it hard to follow where my head was going to? So I want your feedback. Did that answer the question of how do I rationalize for myself why I would promote? And I said, let's take the word promote out for a minute and let's talk about the fact that promoting from sales consultant to TC and from TC to sales leader, I think initially, as you're building a team, it's really all about being an intentional recruiter in order to have a bigger influence, so that you could say, because of me, along with the good work that I do, I've brought others along with me in this journey. So how does that resonate with all of you? And please, somebody answer so I know that I didn't drop the whole internet line here and that I'm talking to thin air. Anybody want to type in and say, gosh, I like that. That made sense to me. Good. And actually, that's the first time someone's ever asked me that. And that's the first time I've ever had to answer that. And I got to tell you, I actually like my own answer. I hope you know me. I'm quite a giggler. I don't take myself too serious, but I like that answer. And I hope you remember it, because what was powerful there is that as a team coordinator and when you become a sales leader, part of what should be in your conversation, because you've earned it, is you know what you can do as one person. In your role as a leader at whatever level, it's all about the fact that as someone who said yes to leadership, you've really said yes to influence, yes to impact, and that has somewhat of a ripple effect. Okay? Oh, that was a good one. Okay, let's move on. So, let's put those back there. Let's all agree. You saw the poster that you were looking at, the Promote and Grow bonus. So if you are successful in promoting for August 1st, so doing all your work this month in July, and August 1st are successful at meeting the requirements to promote to a sales leader, you will be entitled to earn a $300 Promote and Grow bonus that comes on your commission check. It's hard, cold cash. It's not a shopping spree. As soon as your first month of being that official sales leader is over. So you work really hard in July. You promote for your new title on August 1st. And during the month of August, as long as you get paid at your sales leader title, then September 7th or 8th, you will see $300 get deposited into your bank account. Any questions so far? I like to be really clear on all of that. Any questions? Let me see. Sweet. When you say paid, I'm going to go all over that. Okay. No, Amber, they don't have to be engaged. and you hang with me, everybody. Hang on to those thoughts. And how do you motivate JFF to get engaged? Christine, don't lose sight of that question. That's one of my favorite ones to answer. So hang with me. I'm going to get to all that details about getting paid at title. How many months do they have to be engaged? I'll get to all of that, I promise you. Let's now step back a bit and let me think that there could be a few thoughts in your head right now. Maybe some of you are wondering, well, what's exciting to me about promoting to a sales leader? And hopefully the question that I just answered about your influence and impact might probably be a very large part of it. And I'm going to help you understand what it would take to make it happen. But what I don't know is if you're ready to work at it. When I say ready to work at it, I don't mean, how can I say this in a way? Sometimes we work really hard and we come close. Okay? So I'm talking not about your result. I'm talking about your efforts. Does that make sense? And I want to differentiate that sometimes we make great efforts, honest, good efforts, but it just doesn't happen. That should never diminish the good feelings you have for working hard at achieving something. Okay. I always like to share a little bit about what does leadership mean, particularly as we talk about it in Norwex, and also as I'm personally talking to you about it. You're going to read a lot of books, you probably have, about leadership, and boy, leadership gets confusing with being a manager, being the boss, being the one with the biggest paycheck in the room, the best title, the highest position, more perks, you know what I mean, that whole corporate world. No, I think that was yesterday. I think that's old thinking. I think that's so yesterday. Today, and I mean today as in recently, the world is changing, particularly in North America. We recognize that leadership is not about intelligence. It's not so much about skill. It's about passion and your ability to relate with others. It's more on an emotional basis than being the most skilled in the room. So I define leadership that it's really about your passion, what you believe in, and how that influences others by encouraging efforts towards a common purpose. So your passion can be about earning an income. It can be about getting out of the house. It can be about having something fun to do, but it also is probably heavily weighted into our mission. And that passion for the mission, and perhaps earning extra money and all those other things, that passion is evident by you. And what happens is you, without even knowing it, you influence other people who will share in that same general passion, that common purpose of helping to raise awareness and education and removing as many harmful chemicals from our lifestyle, because that just makes sense and is really great health security, if you will, for the next generation. So what are some of the perks? Oh, Christine, you loving this call, but you have to go. You'll get the recording. Okay, what are the perks? Well, the first perk is bigger team, bigger influence, bigger impact. There we have it. And then we have, you go from earning 3% on just your personal baby. So I always say permission to speak freely. And usually someone chuckles right along with me and types back in, "Oh, Sheila, speak it. Tell it like it is, girlfriend." So I always like somebody to say, "Yes, please, Sheila." Permission to speak freely. Okay. What do I mean about, I want to explain the career plan, and if there's any gentlemen on the call, welcome. I like to explain the career plan as it relates to being a mom and having a baby. As a team coordinator, you only get paid on your babies. You do not get paid on any of your grandchildren. And you don't live in your own house. You live in your leader's home. You have a big bedroom in your leader's home because you are starting to have all these babies, and you might even have grandchildren. So you get the big bedroom and you all sleep in the big room. When you promote to a sales leader, you move out of that big bedroom and you move next door and you get your own house now because you're a team of 10. You break away from your mom. You have your own house. And because you're now the mom, you earn 5% on all your babies, all your grandchildren, all your great-grandchildren, all the way until such time as you promote out another sales leader who moves out of your house. The only exception is if you have a team coordinator. Just like you are a team coordinator for someone right now and you're receiving 3%, you're doing a lot of the work of supporting your new team, which is why you get 3% and your upline leader does not get the full 5% on your recruits. She's in fact kind of like sharing it with you. You get 3% and she gets 2%. So let's stop for a minute. You become a sales leader, you're in your own house. These are all your babies and your grandchildren, and one of your children becomes a team coordinator. You will still earn 5% on her, but on her babies, if she's going to be earning 3%, it only leaves 2% for you. Now, just like you, because a team coordinator does not earn on her grandchildren, right now your sales leader is earning a full 5% on your grandchildren. So, this is the time I like to take a pause and say, I've just explained the Career Plan 101 family style. This is a great time to ask me questions to clarify something, because once you get this part, well, you understand everything. Does that make sense? So you're all still there, right? Nobody's left. Thank goodness. Do type in, even if you want to just say, got it, makes sense, understood, or tell me that again, because this is the point where I really like to make sure you leave this call feeling, I get our career plan. I know exactly how I get paid now and how I would get paid in the future. So I'm going to give you a minute to write in. And I also had to have a sip of my Starbucks. Okay. Great explanation. Got it. Makes sense. Great example of how you get paid. And Renee says, so once they become sales leaders or above, you don't get paid on any of their kiddos. Oh, yes, you do. You'll always get paid on your sales leader if she's personal, right? So you never lose on your babies. Okay? So let's fast forward and say you've been a sales leader and now your daughter moves out next door. She's now a sales leader. You're always going to get 5% on your daughter, but now you get 1% on her whole house. Her whole house. Now, I'm going to suggest to you that you might at first say, what do you mean? When they were living in my house and there was only 8 of them, I was making 5%. Now they move out, I get 1%. Well, hold the phone. Hold on. They weren't never your kids to begin with, were they? You were fortunate enough, just like your leader is, while they are still living in your home, eating all your food, you are earning 5% of, I'm going to call it borrowed time with those grandchildren. And at such point, when they break away, what this concept is called, by the way, is called exponential growth. As I explained it, you're probably thinking, oh, wow. Well, I can tell you that most leaders in Norwex, in any other party plan, MLM company, whatever, where you start to recognize the potential for growth is when there is growth. I'll give you an example. If I said to you, do you want $1 million right now, or will you take 1 penny, 1 cent, doubled for the next 28 days? The wise person says, don't give me $1 million. Give me 1 penny doubled for the next 28 days. Because exponential growth, meaning you go 1 cent, becomes 2 cents, becomes 4 cents, 8 cents, 16, slow. And then it's 400,000 doubled is 800,000 doubled is 1.6 million doubled is now 3.2 million. The penny doubled always wins. That's exponential growth. So I hope that makes sense. Gosh, I talk a lot, don't I? Okay. The $300 promote and grow bonus, and not going to spend any time on this. Engine shuts off in 26 seconds. It's like 30 degrees here. I had to have the car on. Okay. You're eligible to participate in a program that is exclusive to sales leaders and above. It's called the Business Builder Bonus. Now that actually ends July 31st. So I should have taken it out because really it's not something that at this point, because it was just a temporary special program. Who knows? Maybe they'll bring it back. Pardon me. And so much more. So here's where you are now. Again, you're going to know this career plan and you're going to feel so confident. So here's you, and you got some people. They're your babies, and you're having more babies. Oh my gosh, Jill just made you grandmother. Okay, your team is growing. Do you see how you get 3% on your babies, but you get nothing on your grandchildren? Whoops. And I was trying to do that. Okay. Oh, you're still having more babies. Oh, and you got another granddaughter, thanks to Jill. Jill's loving having babies. Okay. And if I count on my screen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a total of 10. In my example, 8 of them are your personal babies and 2 are your grandchildren. It takes 10 to promote. Of those 10, 5 have to be your personal babies. You cannot promote to sales leader because you recruited 1 and your rock star brought you 25 people. You know what I'm saying? You must personally contribute 5 personal babies to your requirement of a team of 10. And when that happens, you become a sales leader. What do you have to do? Well, in the same month, just like being a TC, you all must be engaged, 250, half a party. And you become a sales leader and you get 5%. Whoops, I'll go back. That 3% becomes 5% all over here. Here's another way to look at it, a cleaner version. All right. you see how this team coordinator, she's your baby, you're getting 5% on your baby, but these are your grandchildren because they're her babies. They're your team coordinator's babies. You're only getting 2%, but you're getting 5% on your team coordinator's grandbabies. Does that make sense? Any questions? Okay, I'll move on. I'm going to send this to you with the recording. It's a little journey map that I had created so that you could sort of track your performance as you take and pencil in your current team and as you draw in your new team members. Adela, what's your question? Go for it. You want to type in your question? I'll check back, okay? Oh, when do you get paid more on great-grandchildren? Oh, when you promote up through the career plan. So when you're a sales leader, you get 1% on your sales leader team. When you become an executive sales leader, well, that's when you start earning not just on your sales leader that broke away, but your sales leader may have a sales leader. Okay, I'll go back to the previous example. Hold on. Sometimes it's hard to go back, but I'm going to try. No, I want to go back. This one? Is this the slide you mean? Or this one? Okay, I think you meant this one. Oh, darn it. When you're a sales leader, you're getting 5% on your grandchildren right here. In fact, she's your great-grandchild, isn't she? This is your daughter, that's your daughter's daughter, and your daughter's daughter's daughters. So as a sales leader, you get paid on all of those. Is that helpful? Adela, what do you mean by why 5%? Because as a sales leader, you earn 5% on everyone inside this box. The team coordinator career plan is developed so that it's the team coordinator recruits a minimum of 3 and gets paid 3% on her babies, but this team coordinator is not getting anything on her grandbabies. So the 5% goes back up to the leader. Okay, perfect. Adela got it. Okay, let's move on. How do you become a sales leader? You have to be personally engaged, okay? You have to have 5 personal babies who are personally engaged, but you need a total of 10. And we've talked about the benefits of the Promote and Grow, the Business Builder program, the 5%, and I explained that you get 5% on the whole group. But if you have a TC, and if your TC is getting 3% on her personal recruits, the difference between 3% and 5% is 2%. You're getting the 2%. And if you have a sales leader break away from you, you earn 1%. No, Adela, all of them have to be engaged. Minimum of 10 engaged consultants. But 5 of them have to be your babies. The other 5 can be grandchildren. And I want to remind you of your Fresh Start bonus for recruiting, where every time you welcome someone to Norwex, when you help them achieve their Fresh Start Step 1, there's a thank you shopping spree of $150. When you help your new team member earn their kit for free and qualify, if you will, by earning her kit for free, you get another thank you shopping spree of $300. Now, this is where people said, well, how do I earn it? Or how do I keep it? So remember I said paid as title? Paid as title? To get paid as a sales leader, so you only have to do 250, half a party. Once you become a sales leader, you need that goes up a little bit. You're now expected to make sure that you submit $300 in personal retail sales each month. Again, I think that's a little over half a party. Okay? But your 10 consultants, your minimum of 10 consultants, 5 have to be your babies, only need to be active. Engaged is $250 in a month. Active is $250 within the rolling 3 months. Any questions here? Let's see what's coming in. Got it. Okay. So it's quite simple. Wouldn't you agree? In other words, it's not very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not very complicated, is it? When you think about it. All right. So Norworks is simple. I'm trying to go the Safe Haven 5 parties. So here's where I want to answer some questions because I know it came in earlier. Gosh, I recruited some JFF in the JFF Join for Free campaign, and a couple of things have happened. In some cases, so I'm shutting my car door, in some cases, you recruited people who jumped at the chance to join for $10, join for free. And as a result of that, they're not doing anything. They're not interested. They saw a good deal, grabbed it, and they're done. That was it. It was like buying, for them it was a $10 purchase. It was not a commitment. And in some cases, when you're recruiting, you work on a party chain. So it'd be like me being a consultant, and my sister Maggie is one of my hosts, and Maggie's customers are all her friends and neighbors, and they start booking with me. And then one day Maggie says, I'm going to be a consultant. And all of her friends and neighbors have a choice to make. Are they going to stay with me, Sheila, or are they going to support their local close friend? This is real life. There's no right or wrong. I can't give you any advice because ultimately people will do business with the people whom they want to do business with. Sometimes what happens is, yes, a host comes to you and says, I'm so excited. I just want to do this. And there goes some customers because their loyalty, although they were loyal to you, the stronger loyalty is to that friend. Does that make sense? And I say that because I've sometimes read on Facebook, well, she was my customer. Well, I want to say, and don't quote me, nah, she wasn't really your customer, because if she was your customer because it was convenient, but obviously she did not remain your customer through loyalty because her loyalty falls with another person, and that's just real life. When you walk into a hairdresser, there could be 5 hairstylists there. Somebody 20 with pink hair, and I'm not saying anything negative, so I want to be very clear. There could be a 20-year-old hairdresser whose hair is bright orange and she has multiple body piercings. There could be a 30-year-old woman who has long straight hair. There could be a 40-year-old woman who has a perm back from the 60s. There could be a 50-year-old woman who's got a beautiful bob wedge cut and it's all highlighted. And then there's a 65-year-old woman who has got her hair dyed gray, and it's not a very attractive haircut. You walk in there, you're the one who has the choice who's going to cut your hair. If the receptionist said, "Oh, hello, Sheila, you're going to go all the way down to that lady," I know who's cutting my hair. So I want us to sometimes, I love talking about how you got to get out of that, well, she was mine. I don't know about that. Okay, now I digress. I want to go back to, okay, people who join for free are some of our best consultants. People who join for free are some of our best customers. They bought a $10 purchase and off they went. Some of our consultants who come in with the standard kit don't share Norwex. I think what helps, and my one advice, if you could take away anything, is, and I'm going to go a little fast. Oh no, because then I'll get messed up. But I'm going to go to something that because it's right top of mind. I'm flipping through these slides. There you go. Sorry if I did that fast slideshow. What I think makes all the difference, for the most part, in how committed someone who says, "I would love to do what you do, I'd like to be a consultant." I think what makes all the difference is on us. It's our conversation. Look, I've been there. I remember when I've been in this industry for 35 years, so I'm a little bit of an oldie but goodie. When I was recruiting, even when I was selling products, until I had a lot of confidence, when somebody bought something from me, gosh, I was afraid to call them back. I didn't want them to tell me they didn't like it. I didn't want to have to return their product. So I was bad with customer service in the beginning because I just figured I didn't want to hear that they changed their mind, so I didn't bother with them. Well, that was a dumb mistake. When it came to recruiting, I was just so gosh darn excited they said yes. I didn't really do much more than say thank you, here you go. But what I learned over the years was that I had a responsibility in all my conversations. It was on me. And once I had satisfied for myself that I had had the right conversation, then I had done all I can. What's the right conversation in Norwex, in my opinion? We have a strong, noble mission. And I'm a big believer that, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, but unless you live under a rock in North America, you can't tell me that you don't know, unless you live under a rock in North America, you can't tell me that you don't know there is a problem with the environment, that there is a problem with water pollution and plastics, that there is a problem with the damages caused by chemicals, particularly for younger children. Okay, so I say that because I've worked in a couple of different industries where I have either represented products or worked in a position similar to mine where we were talking about things that were nice to have, pretty things. This is different. And so I believe that walking into Norwex with a Join for Free kit, my question would have been something like, "Gosh, Mary, I'm so excited that you want to be a part of us." And she says, "Well, I don't think I'm going to do much with it. I just think this is a great deal." I would say, "Mary, I wouldn't stop you from accepting our great offer. But I do have to ask you something personal for me. I think it's a privilege that Norwex honors all of us with a 35% shopping discount or 35% earning. How will you support the Norwex mission based on the generosity of Norwex? That's how I would approach it. How are you going to acknowledge Norwex's generosity of a 35% discount in terms of sharing our mission? Now, I realize I've got a lot of years under my belt, so I speak sometimes a little overly confident. But I want that to sink in, that you should be proud to be a Norwex consultant, proud of the work you do, proud of the work the company does, and that it's okay to ask for a little accountability. So these are my top questions for recruiting conversations. You know, those gentle, those gentle conversations we have that help satisfy someone's curiosity. I love the opportunity brochure. Absolutely love it. I use it like a picture book. I let it tell me stories. Oh, I'm going to lose battery power, so I'm going to be really quick. So my two questions are, what do you want Norwex to do for you or your family? Or I might say it this way, how would you like Norwex to bless you and your family? That's what I mean by accountability. These questions give me an insight into what that person is thinking. The answer, such as, I would like for Norwex to help me pay off a credit card. I would like for Norwex to help build my self-confidence. I would like for Norwex to help me run a home-based business and give me some freedom or flexibility. I'd like a new couch. I just want to get out of the house. I'm doing it for kicks and giggles. It doesn't matter. The answer gives you insight into how you can take what she has told you and positioned it back. Oh, so you can't wait to get out of the house because you need some mom time. Well, how many nights a month do you see that happening? Or I just want a new couch. Well, how much are you going to spend on a couch? Let's figure out what you have to do to buy that couch. Do you see what I mean? And the last question, and this is my personal experience, the one I always struggled with, when I said, are you ready to get started today? I was a great dancer. I could dance people around the room, but I just never knew when to sit down. Do you know what I mean? My friend Libby Como says, Sheila, you fly airplanes all day long, and sometimes you forget to bring them in for a landing. This is an example of how I wasn't always bringing it in for a landing, if that makes sense. Okay. What's the best practice for keeping your customers, keeping parties booked off a host, turn new recruit without hurting your new recruit's business? Okay, so Christy, remember, so what I'm thinking you're asking me is, you think they're your customers and your parties, right? You have a host, her name is Mary. Through Mary, you've got a lot of customers, and a lot of Mary's friends have booked with you, right? And so your calendar looks good. Mary decides to join Norwex, and all of Mary's friends want to book with her, and they now want to buy off her. I don't have an answer for what is the best practice, but my best advice is, it's a conversation. So I'm going to pretend, Christy, this is just off the cuff, that you're that host of mine who has just joined, and I'm looking at potentially 3 bookings that were from your friends are lost. I might say to you, Christy, this is so exciting that you're going to be a Norwex consultant. And so I think there's things we have to talk about. Oh, sorry, I got to turn that off. Sorry. Sorry. I did not know my husband's phone was in the car. So Christy, there's a few things we'd have to talk about, and I just prefer being very upfront, so there's no hurt feelings and a clear understanding. I've been working with your friends and family for quite a while, and as you know, there are 3 bookings that are on my calendar next month from these people. How do you think, Christy, we should handle it? What do you think is the right thing to do? And then I would take it from there. There's no hard and fast answer. Did I cover that question, Christy? Was that the answer? Did I answer? And maybe you don't like my answer, but did I answer the question? You still there, Christy? She said, haha, it's a hard topic. You're right. There's no good answer. So I think, though, what we could agree on was my answer was I immediately said, Christy, welcome. I'm so excited for you. And I do think there are some things we need to have a real honest conversation about so that as we move forward, there's no hurt feelings and we really understand each other. And then I would call it like it is. And at the end of the day, if she said, well, Sheila, so Christy, you would have said, oh no, if my sister Maggie wants you to do her party, go right ahead. Then I might say, gosh, that's really generous of you because Maggie's your sister. Would you want to call her yourself and let her know that it's okay to keep the booking with me? And the other thing is, before we go all down that negative road, there might be people who are her very good friends, and yet for whatever reason they would prefer to remain your customer because sometimes friends and money don't mix. Just saying. So in the few minutes we have left, I want to go back, especially if my especially if my computer dies. Is there any outstanding question tonight that we didn't tackle? I'm thinking that one of the things that you probably, some of you might want to know is, gosh, what can we do? What can I do to build up my party calendar right now? Is that on anybody's minds? So, always, okay, bookings. I have a couple of tips. The first is, and I am sort of a lover of language, meaning, yes, I sometimes don't choose my words well, and I'm a real squirrel, and then there are times when I choose my words very, very carefully. One of my best tips when you first get a booking is to find a way to say something like this. Gosh, Sheila, thank you so much for booking. I am so, hold on. Again, I'm trying to stop my husband's phone. It might go something like this. Oh, thank you so much for having me over to meet all of your friends. I'm excited to share Norwex with them. And listen, I just want you to know this is my business. I'm going to reserve that night for you. Now, maybe I wouldn't say it at the party when I get the booking. Maybe I would say it on my thank you call. But the key word is, it's my business and I have reserved a night for you. My second word choice for bookings is the host coaching. We recommend 3 calls. The first one is the thank you. The second one is the heavy one, if you ask me. And the last one is the courtesy call, right? It's the second call that I think most consultants avoid, and it's the most important one. This is where everything goes right or everything goes wrong. Let me give you an example. You call your host and she says, "Oh, I'm so glad you called me, Sheila. I was just thinking about you. I got to cancel the party. Gosh, my life's crazy and I've only got 2 people coming." And how I would say it is, "Don't you be silly. We aren't canceling. I'll tell you why. But there's me, you, and 2. We're already a group of 4. And you were prepared to host that night, and I'm prepared to work. So we're moving forward. We just need 2 more people. Do you think you can get 2 more people excited about sitting down with us?" That's how I answer it. What was my approach there? I confirmed her desire to host, or I confirmed her intention to host, and I confirmed my commitment to work, if you will. And I totaled up the number of people in attendance and included myself as well as her, and it doubled the party. We went from 2 to 4. That's my host talk. As far as bookings, I think that maybe the words booking and parties and host, sometimes in the summer months when life is breezy and cheery and airy and summery, maybe it's a language choice. Maybe it's a get together with a few gals around the deck. Would love to talk to you. It's never too soon to think about back to school and those personal resolutions that all of us mums start making about this school year. We're going to do this, this, and this, or we're, and say, I'd like to help with that preschool New Year resolutions that most families go through once the fall kicks in. So my language would change a little bit. It would be, it would meet them where they're at. Loose, casual, fun, doesn't have to be 40 people. The other thing I would always do, and if I lose my power, know that we've had a great call, all right, is I would always have my own party booked on my calendar every month. Because if nothing else, I would always be the host of my own get-together each month where I invite new people that I'm networking and connecting with, as well as repeat customers and hosts. And that's because mentally it's very good to open up your calendar and see that every month you already have a party. That mental mind shift, I believe, has powerful impact on how we approach our business from a very subtle way. When we already feel that we're in business, it seems we attract more of it. When we are coming from a place of desperation, sometimes that's the first thing people sense about us, if that makes sense. Now, I didn't want to forget the question, can you be demoted? Yes, you can lose your title if you go for 6 months in a row of not getting paid at title. 6 months in a row where you did not submit $300 minimum and you did not have a minimum of 10 active consultants, 5 of whom were personals. Make sense?